don't understand what that word points
Yeah.
to. And everybody uses it freely, like ketchup on French fries.
Yeah,
And nobody even talks about what the word really means,
Yeah.
you know. So there's a lot of confusion in my
Yeah.
mind about that word. So
Yeah.
what is your understanding of word awareness?
Like any other word, ultimately, it's mean nothing. Okay? So, because every definition of every word is actually defining only relatively with everything else. You see, up only means relative to down. You see, if there was no down, then up would have no meaning. So, the attempt that we make with the term like awareness is to come up with a all-encompassing term which includes everything. But even in that, saying that something is everything is a sort of an exclusion by definition of everything else. You see? So whether you say awareness, you say the self, you say Brahman, you say God, you say consciousness, all of these are terms that we use to try and put some definition to what is. You see? Even what is actually is just another term. But in a way, they are provisional pointers, as I've been calling them now, to be used provisionally to point to something and then to be thrown away. You see? So when I ask you all, are you aware now? You see? Are you aware now? Yeah, unless you're sick of the term like he is. He's like, I don't even know. You see? But mostly people, yeah, I'm aware. You see, it's a useful pointer because this is a strange yes coming from you. You see? It's a strange yes because if I say, are there red stripes on this cloth? You look at the perception of it and you say yes. You see? If I say, is the world stationary or is it moving? You use some knowledge that you picked up in school or parents or something like that and you say, yes, it's moving. You see? It's not a perception because in perception it's completely still. You see? So these are the two modes of knowing that we've used. Now, which one of these or what else are you using to confirm that you are aware? We jump right into it now, right? So, how do you confirm that you are aware?
So let's say, for example, in current experience, maybe I could refer to the sound of the birds,
Yeah.
and I could say I'm aware. But now, you know, the
Okay, so let's slow down with that one. So, you are perceiving a sound, right? You are aware of that perception, isn't it? So, what is this aware? Okay? We can say, okay, smell is perception, sight is perception, but I'm aware of sight. You see, I'm aware of blank, I'm aware of perception. You see? So, this aware, do we have a quality to it? Like you probably heard this before, but you're sitting on the grass. You're aware of what sitting is and what grass is. You say, when I'm aware of sound, what is aware? What is the aware part of it? The off I know, of all the content of the senses, of all the perception. You know what is on the off side, but what is on this side?
on this side is just my existence, or like a background of existence against where all this is perceived.
Okay. And what happened when you woke up this morning?
Actually, I became aware of that background of existence. In sleep, I was not aware of that
So
background
when
of
we are
existence.
unaware of that existence, we can really not say that it exists. You see? So even this primal existence, this being, you see, we experience both being and not being. You see? There is no phenomenal taste of that not being. You see? That's why it can seem a bit confusing. But we are aware that there was no being. You see, so that awareness is still there. So how is that? How do we confirm that? Is it a perception that we have? Is it some knowledge that we had, like the world is moving? Is it like that?
It's more like an inference, I would say, rather than a direct experience.
Okay. So, are you aware now? Do you have to infer that?
No. Because right now the being is there for me to reflect on.
But to say being is there, is that your own direct confirmation?
Yes.
Are you saying that you are aware of the being? So you're not inferring it. Exactly. So this that is aware of the being. You see, which one is that? What is the quality of this awareness itself?
quality. I mean, you can't even tell what it is. I mean, there's nothing.
Exactly. You see? And yet it is undeniable. Now, this is the only thing like that. There is nothing else like that. You see? Is it, are there socks on my feet? Yes. Why do you say yes? Is it? Why do you say yes? You have a perception of it, isn't it? That's why you say, of course, Ananta, what are you saying? Of course there are socks on your feet. You see, I can see them. You see, so it's a perception that gets you to confirm it. And you see, there are many examples like this of just learnt knowledge. Like most of humanity used to believe that the world is flat because they were told by credible sources. So they had the conceptual knowledge that the world is a certain way. You see? So many things we believe that way. You see? How far is the sun from the earth? We have heard 10 million miles or something like that. It's conceptual knowledge. We don't really know. You see? But we take it to be true. You see? But for awareness, to confirm that I am aware, we're not using any of these mechanisms. And yet, it is absurd to say I am not aware. Because even if you say I am not aware, you're saying that I am aware that I am not aware.
Yeah.
So it's inescapable. It's that primal to us that it's inescapable. And to know, like Bhagavan used to say, don't try to find awareness. Awareness is another word for you. You are awareness, you see? And this primal knowledge which everyone has is self-knowledge. Atma Jnana, you see, is available to everyone. It's simplest if you don't confuse it with conceptual knowledge or perceptual knowledge. So that is awareness, that which is so primal to us that it is independent of all perception and all conception or conceptualization. You see, it is the only thing like that. I'm using the word thing just provisionally. It's not a thing.
And follow-up question, please.
Yeah, but you got that one.
Yeah, I got that one. That is
the
clear.
main point.
Yes, yes, and that is not the problem. The problem
Yeah.
starts now.
Okay.
Is that we know what awareness is. We think we know what awareness is in a way.
Okay, so let me try and preempt that. So now, what does this discovery mean? You see, that I am this awareness, I am this self, which is also called awareness. You see, what does it mean? It means nothing. What should it mean for my life? Nothing. What should it change for my life? Nothing. You see, life is as it is, moving in the light of the same awareness, of the same self. It is only our individuality, our ego, which will come and say, but did I really get it? Or what happened? Why can't I stay in peace? You know? And we pick up the false I again, and we try to fit awareness in the box of the small I, and say, now what does this mean for this one? You see? So try and fit the self into the small shoebox is what causes all the trouble after that. You see? Because we've been taught that way, that once you know science, then you'll get better at this. Once you know this, then you'll be able to do a good job of this. You see? Once you know awareness, your life will become something. You see? That was all the marketing. Forget about it.
I agree. But Father, so our major problem right now is that our identification is with the body, that I'm a separate body in this existence, right? And what Muji Baba and what you and everyone, all the enlightened beings say, that you are the awareness. Now, awareness, if someone tells me that you're Santa Claus, I know what Santa Claus looks like, and I can probably dress up like that and be one like that, right?
Yeah.
But when we know that there is awareness, but we don't know what it looks like, then how could you expect mind to be awareness where mind itself doesn't know what awareness is?
Mind has no idea about this.
Right.
So I'm not expecting the mind to know at all. So I'm in fact inviting you to not take the mind's conclusions about awareness to mean anything. You see? Because the mind, it's only like, I take this example in satsang these days, which is to say, like somebody who's never been inside the Louvre is saying, but the Mona Lisa is so small, is that it? Was that what all the fuss is about? But the mind has never entered the museum. You see? So the same way, when you are checking on your own self, on your own reality, this, what we call the mind, you see, these bubbles of energy are not participant in that. You see? They will always come and try to co-opt it like every other experience. You see? And say, but was that it? So then what happened? You see? So I'm not expecting the mind to understand at all or admit to it at all.
So then the remain as awareness instruction
Yeah.
is for who or what?
I don't say it.
Yeah, you don't say it. Muji Baba says it. So.
Then you have to ask Guruji.
I just thought maybe if you.
No,
if,
it only means, I mean, from whatever I conclude out of hearing Bhagwan and all the other sages talk about that, is that don't pick up the false pretense about yourself.
Okay.
The remaining for me only implies not picking up the false, not trying to stay as awareness, because you cannot not stay as awareness. You see? So when Guruji is saying, or any of the sages is saying, they're saying that don't pick up these false pretense because you cannot confirm it. You see? Don't go with something that you just is being proposed by this energy construct called the mind. You see? And just don't fall for the false. That is much as much. And Bhagwan has clarified this very clearly in Be As You Are, if you read the book. He said that self-knowledge does not need to be attained or stayed with or anything to be done with that. Just don't buy into the false notions about yourself. He's very, very clear about that.
Yeah, Bhagwan says the same thing. Stay as the self, which
Say
is
as
there,
self.
the
It is
awareness.
same. Don't take yourself to be something other than that. And I would add to it, don't take yourself to be something other than that unless you can really confirm. You see? Like I would even say that if you are looking for freedom, can you first confirm your bondage to me?
Hmm.
Show me first. Do you really know that you are bound? How do you know?
The roller coaster
So
sequence.
the more accurate point would have been don't stay as the non-self. And you're actually saying
In fact,
it's-
they say that constantly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the thing is, they say that constantly.
Yeah,
Guruji also
yeah.
says that constantly. But the point is that because at a particular point we're looking for something to do or an instruction to follow, then when we hear it like that, we feel like now I have to do this good. I found what I have to do.
I totally agree.
So the invitation to abide or to remain or to stay is just saying don't fall for the false pretenses rather than to hold on to a particular state or a turning of attention this way or that way. It's not really about that. You see, because if you were to look at it that way, then how does Bhagwan read the newspaper?
Yeah.
If attention was only meant to be inward facing and only facing its own source, then it's impossible for the waking state to arise. Forget about the newspaper. And this kind of causes a lot of confusion in people when they think that, oh, I had the awareness state and now I lost the awareness state. My attention is too much in the world, but awareness is not being lost at all. You see? Attention is like a dog on a leash. It may go anywhere, but it's tied to you, to the self.
I call
So
that
it-
the small awareness.
Yeah.
The attention
Yeah.
is the small A,
Yeah.
which
We used
moves
to say
all
that
over.
often.
Yeah.
We used to say that in satsang, that big A awareness, small A attention.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good time.
How is your life different now?
It's not. Is that disappointing or?
It's a little surprising.
Yeah. No, it is a bit different. But I usually don't share like that because then we make that into a benchmark. As it is, I'm trying to take away all the benchmarks. No? Like I'm trying to take away Ananda from Satchitananda, just making it Satchit full stop. Because then we use those benchmarks and say, okay, but Ananta lives like this, and I'm not there yet. You see, as I'm constantly saying, but you are that. You are that right now. You see? We were talking a bit about this yesterday. Where I was saying that one thing that did change is that I'm in the darshan of fresh God constantly. Fresh God, God right here, right now. You see? There's so much beauty that I'm seeing every moment, even in the manifest world. So I'm not so much concerned with what was my spiritual experience yesterday or day before, or 7 years ago, what happened, because right now I'm bathing in this divinity, which all of us are, but because we are trying to fit that divinity into a linear story of our life or our personal life, you see, then it seems to get lost. If you just experience this, like I was saying yesterday, all these rays of light are coming from a small, apparently a small, by universal standards small, but by earthly standards big ball, which has a nuclear reaction going on. And all these rays of light are coming, all these sounds are being heard. There are birds chirping over there. Even this beautiful meadow or park or whatever it is. You see? But when we try to fit this into the linear story of Ananta or what's happening to him, then all of it gets lost. That's the mental version of the story. So fresh God is here now, who is the unmanifest witnessing of even all of this manifest, which is himself. You see? In other words, they're sounding too confusing. So, okay, let me make it simple. What I'm saying is right now, this, you see, and
I'll let you
the witnessing of this, the awareness of this, is completely apparent to me. You see? And I don't need to fit it into any story of myself. And whether you call it bathing in the divine presence or being with yourself or abiding as the self, I don't know what to call it. But that's how it is mostly life now.
So do you experience negative emotions like anger, fear,
Everything is
frustration?
experienced. Everything is experienced, but they are not labeled as positive or negative. If like a snake popped in here and some fear came, you see, would you call that a negative emotion?
No, it's appropriate emotion.
Okay, then that's fine. Then everything is appropriate. You see? There's nothing. It's because fear usually is called a negative emotion. You see? So just these labeling of good, bad, right, wrong, should be, should not be, is what has caused so much oppression in the human condition.
Yeah.
It is not the arising of anything at all. Any phenomenal experience in itself is not good or bad, positive or negative. You see, it's just what humanity has done to break up and try to deconstruct this world into sort of a mental structure, a mental model.
But you do have your preferences, like you would prefer tea over coffee. Or
Yeah.
They're all the same.
And I see this, I sometimes call this one like boy, no? So I see this boy, he can have some preferences someday and then maybe 2 weeks later he's just saying, like, I just noticed last month, like this one's entire life he spent not liking chili and spices and things like that. Now he's going to every restaurant saying, oh, get me this and make it spicy, you know? Like, what's happening with him? I've not seen this boy like this. So yeah, I notice these things, they play out in the human condition.
So,
And if you're around Guruji also, he'll say, I want this and I don't want that. It's not. You see? Inwardly, of course, it's like that, but outwardly in the play or the leela, it does play out like, let's sit in the park, let's not sit on the bench. So one of the projects in a way that is playing in Ananta's life is to demystify freedom, liberation and spirituality. I feel like it's too mystified and we end up having a lot of strange ideas about what the life of the master is like and how do they live their lives and do they sleep or are they constantly awake?
I saw him at Starbucks and Target.
yes.
And same with Guruji. His life is an open book. If you're around him, you just leading a normal, regular life and making decisions. Okay, should we put this tree on this part of Sahaja? Should we do this? Should we do that? So it just comes down to this ultimately, like we closed our conversation yesterday also with this. Are we in spirituality for the perks?
Yeah.
Or are we just in it for the truth? So would the truth be worth it if it did not come with any side benefits? Just because it's true? Or are we okay to live a lie in a way? And if we have come to the point where we just need truth for truth's sake, then what I'm saying is super simple. But if you look for the truth, saying that my truth should lead to this for me, you see, then that is that cat story, which the cat is wanting to be an enlightened cat or a free cat, but not freedom from the cat. So what do we expect God or the truth to do for us? Once we find freedom, what should happen? the halo should come. Devotees should show
We
up
should glow.
everywhere we go.
There should be a glow around you.
Huh? Should we?
That's
We should glow,
Glow?
and we should
that
never
would be a
suffer.
star.
We'd only be happy all the time, no suffering whatsoever, no pain.
But I think a lot of this marketing kind of gets us into the spiritual thing. You know, I mean, I got attracted to spirituality because I think the marketing that Osho did, because
Yeah.
Osho says your
Yeah.
life will be different. But I think in a way he's right, because if you're stress free, you're happy, right? But the mind interprets that, oh, I will have everything I want. Because
Father, to me, it's clear that you, Osha, Muji, Eckhart, something's different.
Yeah.
So, although you say we are that, and we supposed to not look for anything, you're different. We're here
Yeah, I hear
under
this
you.
often.
You know, we watch Muji. I
Yeah.
was drawn to him. His
Yeah.
clarity, how
Yeah.
you speak, y'all light at times.
Yeah.
There is a difference. I mean, so I do seek that because I do feel like, you know, that's the state. That's why the masters came to earth. That's why Jesus came to earth. Aren't you the example? I mean, isn't this the, I don't want to say the trophy because I'm not looking to win anything, but is this how God wants us to be? Is truth, you know? Isn't that to be sought out?
We have all these various perceptions of various, let's call them body minds, that appear and they disappear. Now, as long as we take ourselves to be a body mind, you see, then these distinctions will seem apparent, you see. So what happened? Oh, that one stopped taking themselves to be a body mind and see how they are now, you see, like this. But if we look at that from the filter of ourselves still being the body mind, then it will seem like it is different, you see. Right now, you have the perception of Ananta, you see. You have the perception of that which you call your body. You see? Now, because there is certain centrality of the visual perspective, it can seem like I am something contained in that structure, and therefore this is more intimately me. But he's over there, and there is a difference between me and him. You see? But this we've investigated, isn't it? Is there a me in there, you see, which owns this one more and owns that one less?
Of course not.
Yes. You see? So then the one who's saying that there is a difference between me and you is which one? The same one which is claiming that I am this body and not that body.
It's not one.
Huh?
It's not one.
Yeah.
But you can point there. I don't want to say anything else.
No, it's good. So that's why the constant invitation is first confirm who you are. You see? Once you confirm who you are, then the rest of it is super easy. But the minute you put on the mask, but I am this one, and now explain to me how you are not different, you see, then that is an impossible conversation to have. You see? So we must not pick up that mask. You see? It doesn't have to be dropped actually, just not picked up.
It's best just not even question like a difference or just not even question.
Just what you have to question, if anything, is what is it that you are claiming yourself to be? You see? In that question, what is the perspective that you're already taking about yourself? Like, I don't feel like Jesus or Guruji or Bhagwan or Maharaj, any of them would say anything different. They've always said we are the same. In fact, not the same, but we are one. It sounds, of course, it sounds like a strange contradiction. Like we are one, and yet there's something about you. I understand that. But it doesn't have to be figured out in that way. So what is different about him? It only has to be figured out this way, that what am I really? You see? Then that problem will resolve itself. Because if you try to solve it that way, like in a way it is asking in various different ways. You see? How can I get what you have? You see? And that's what I'm saying every day, is to find out what you already have first, and then tell me if there's any difference actually left. And in a way, it's very different from how we are used to operating in the world. In the world, when we see something and we say, okay, that's good, then we have to go and learn from that. Yeah, what makes you so different, and what is the thing? How can I build a house like yours, or how can I make money like you, or what is the best way to get a good relationship? Yeah, or how do you take care of your body? Yeah, these things. So because we got used to learning that way, so when you ask apparently a master like that saying, okay, but what makes you different? The master says, but you see what you are first. No, but I want to know what makes you. No, but you check what you are. So it can seem a bit it's confusing because we're used to learning in that way. So if you go to somebody who made a lot of money and you say, how did you do it? He says, okay, first I did this, and then I became a value investor. I tried to figure out what is undervalued, and I bought some of that equity. This kind of advice. He says, thank you. You told me how. You made some money. Right? But here, how you stay so peaceful or calm? What is light about you or something? It's like, but check what you are. Like, you're not telling me. No, but check what you are. I'm telling you. I promise I'm telling you. So that, in that way, satsang is a bit different from the regular classroom of any sort.
So, Father, the manifest existence
Yeah.
and the unmanifest
Yeah.
witnessing, why do you separate them two?
I don't have to. It's all just provisional nonsense.
You remember yesterday when you would snap?
Yeah.
And I just said that just shuts everything down.
Yeah.
'Cause when you do that, it just no mask, don't pick up anything. Just
No. You heard this from me? These days I was just saying that whatever you're looking for is before you hear the sound. Before you hear the sound.
But that's only for a moment.
Huh?
That's only for a
It's
split
actually
second.
beyond time, prior to time and space. It has nothing to do with time and space. Even to put yourself as an object within time needs some time. Even to consider yourself to be this object within this world of time and space is not this thing. You need a few moments before you can put yourself into that position. Just contemplate this. It's very simple actually. Don't let your mind convince you, okay, it's something, it's very straightforward. Right? Like if I give you a moment or two to think about it, then you will be able to present yourself as an object in this world of time and space. But like this, you see, you can't consider yourself to be any objective 3D or 4D object in this life. First you have to learn how to snap.
Snapping.
Keep snapping. I guess I'm never going to get enlightened.
That's it for you for this life. It's done.
Then that becomes a meditation practice. You introduce a new practice, Father.
I suppose now I don't
For
speak.
mind, snapping
Now I
practice.
don't speak for 10 years or something, take a sabbatical from satsang, and 10 years later everybody just like,
Snapping.
what are you guys doing? That's how they start. Many practices start like
That's how they start.
Yeah, that's what my master said. Suppose my last, I'm on my deathbed. I'm just saying, my highest pointing is this. Everybody hears that. What did Ananta say? He said his last pointing is this.
So everybody's
100 years later, everybody and their grandchildren are all going.
Everybody going around and snapping.
Why are you doing this? Oh, because my master is master.
It's so funny.
Father, sometimes when I want to ask you questions,
Yeah.
I don't want to ask you a question when I want to ask you because I think about the snap.
Yeah.
The snap, right? Does that make sense? Like a question that come up, then I'd be like,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
stick. So what would you want to ask? Who would want to ask?
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah. Don't bother with it either way. In the sense that don't take yourself into a position of wanting to or not wanting to, either way. Don't decide anything for yourself. Like don't give yourself any position. No position that you take is true for you. Because this is just our condition which says, but now what does this mean? You see, where am I at? Where are you at? Where are you at? Nowhere. I mean, and everywhere. You can see it. This is crazy business. It's completely crazy. So, you don't have to conceal any expressions from me. I can completely understand if you feel like, wow, it's a crazy talk. What is this talk? I can completely understand that. No, I'm not saying for anyone in particular. I would, if I was hearing this stuff even like 10 years ago, I would be looking at this guy saying, what is he talking about? I completely understand.
You said that you are aware of the witnessing of the manifest happening. So where does your attention? So attention is of the body-mind complex. Right?
I won't say that. I would say it's more primal than that. Like attention is that which gives life to all that is manifest. Like can you say that the body is there or the mind is there unless attention was on it? You can bring attention even to our being. Like Maharaj used to suggest, bring your attention, stay with the sense I am. You see? And keep attention on this being. The first moment when you wake up, you see, there's just a sense of beingness and attention is on it. But there's no clue as to which world this is, which body is there, what my name is. You see, all these things are not there yet, but attention is like, already there. So I would not say that attention is a body-mind, an aspect of the body-mind construct.
So where is
It's
your,
more primal than that.
So I was just wondering, someone like yourself, where does your attention fall?
Same as where yours is. It doesn't matter where attention goes. Okay, where can attention go?
It can go inside or to the world.
Okay, send your attention outside you and show me. Like send it to that tree. Send your attention to the tree?
I mean, it's all I mean, it's within. You know,
Within what?
It's an encompassing phenomenon. It's not as
But when you say it can be either inside or outside, I'm just saying, can you send it outside and show me?
In a way, no.
You can't do it, you see. And once you see that, then this whole manifest, so-called manifest creation being within you becomes very apparent. This, the construct of inside and outside is also mental. Attention is always just navigating my own being. It is not going anywhere. And you can play with this. Okay, I'm going to send my attention to the street to hear the sound of the car. Yeah? And where is it now? Is it? Where did it go? Did you actually send, what did you send to the street? Yeah? Where is the street? I'm sure this sounds like crazy stuff for the kids, but the street is within me. What? Ma, why you have to meet these crazy guys? My kids are just like me, so don't worry at all.
I actually bribed her a little bit. I said, we'll tell you about her allergies, and you will give her blessings to overcome the allergies.
Yeah,
and
my blessings are always there.
she'll go to college soon, and she's worried how she'll manage, the food and everything. So.
It's embarrassing.
I know. She always complains I do that all the time.
All kids do, all parents do.
Parents put them on spot, right?
Yes, yes. I've been there too.
I was telling them yesterday that my kids also, they grew up in Satsang, and you've seen some photo of them with Guruji and things like that. And they were much younger, of course, when Satsang started being shared from here. So in a way, they grew up with it, so they accept it. But try to get them to come for one is a different challenge altogether. So I tried to get my son to come one time, and I thought I had the perfect opportunity because one Sangha member in Bangalore, she had invited us to come to share satsang in her house, and she said it'd be great if your family can come. And, so my son, he used to hate math tuition over there. He used to go for math tuition. So I felt like I have the perfect way to get him to come to satsang. So one day I told him, Kabir, you have a choice today. I think you like this choice. I said, you can either go to math tuition or you can come to satsang with me. And I was just like, at least my son will come with me to satsang today. I was so sure he hates math tuition. And you know what he said? Pa, I'm sorry, but I think I'll go to math tuition. And I was just, when you talked about feeling emotion.
And you think awakened beings can do miracles?
I can't even get my kids to satsang.
There's so much effort.
And here we are thinking how lucky his son is.
Yes,
like,
yes.
And he's saying, why couldn't I have a regular dad?
So many people around all the time.
They are used to it. They are happy. They're fine. As long as I don't force them to get involved, they are happy. They're not imposing on my time so much. Of course, sometimes they do get upset. Like I was saying in the London trip,
Yeah.
we spent half our time like this in parks sharing satsang, sangha, and they were not happy with that. What if your dad was a spiritual guru? You'd be okay with that? It's a bit strange for the kid. No? Regular pa, no?
Yeah.
Regular dad.
I always wonder how I would feel when I'm about to die.
How do you feel when you're just about to sleep?
Okay.
There's nothing more that can be taken away from you in death that doesn't get taken away from you in deep sleep.
So you wouldn't be afraid at all?
I don't feel so, but let's see, we'll find out.
God forbid. I mean,
No, it's fine. Death is a very comfortable conversation for me. It's not like a taboo. All vanishes, no? But it vanishes in deep sleep also. So what is it? I'm aware that there is nothing. You see? Of course, without this interpretation. You see? And then suddenly I am, and then this whole world of light and sound and all of this appears. In the light of my being, all this universe appears, and it doesn't have to be this universe. It can be that which sitting here I can call the dream state, you see, but sitting there I could call this a dream state. So it's like the King Janaka story. King Janaka went to his master one day very upset. Master, I had a dream last night that I was a butterfly, but now I'm so confused. I don't know whether I'm the king who had the dream I was the butterfly, or I'm the butterfly now dreaming that it is the king. So I don't find that there's anything that can be taken away from me which doesn't already get taken away from me when I go to sleep. And even in sleep, if you actually look at it, not wanting to scare anyone, is there any guarantee that this world will come back? Don't know.
I'll probably end up coming back as a rock on Pluto or something. Just kidding.
We have also this, and it's a spiritual notion, of course, this sort of fallacy that the human life is the best. I see a lot of trees and birds and animals and all of them, they don't seem oppressed by the mind, and they don't seem to have this sort of suffering human condition. And we also have another fallacy, which is that, the ones who are into spirituality are the most evolved in humanity. The rest of you are just chasing money, cars, but we are chasing God. Are we really? And that is when the question truth for truth's sake comes in. Like, have we just found, are we looking for a cheat code to get what everybody has through material things? Now we're going to get it through like God or something like that. You see, so that's why I keep asking, what is this really about? What do you want? Is it now our spirituality is just a version of materialism, but we tried other things and we felt like, no, this could be a good shortcut to get a lot of peace. So it's a kind of spiritual materialism which most seekers are stuck in, saying that if I really go for God, then I can get peace faster, better, stronger, more bliss than everybody else.
Yeah, I used to definitely feel that way when I was seeking, that I thought this was the higher
The higher
purpose
goal.
and the higher goal.
And this is
And
how the
everybody
mind.
else was little peons lost in their little material worlds. And
No,
really, I
feel-
was a spiritual snob actually about
a
it.
spiritual jerk, as
Yeah,
Adya would
yeah,
call
that
it.
too.
Well, that's what I remember many years ago, and you've been asking some things about how life has changed. So one thing, hopefully, and you can check with my wife whether that has changed, is that just getting into Advaita and reading Bhagwan, then this question really stuck with me. Who am I? So what used to happen is my wife used to come back from work and she would have had some issue at work or something, and then she would just want to share with her husband, this was my day at work, and I would say, who is the one who has it? So like, why do I even bother to talk to you?
Exactly.
Yeah, you have been a spiritual jerk. Yeah.
It's part of journey, I guess. Everybody goes through that.
I was talking to a friend of mine that is now, I introduced her to Muji,
Yeah.
and now she's in that obsessive seeking mode.
Yeah.
And she's actually considering ending her marriage because her husband isn't on the same journey as her, and she says, I can't share with her. I need to be around people who speak this language. I can't be with anybody unless they speak this language. So she's pushing
My
everybody
head is
away.
full of contradictions.
Yeah.
It's like, I just want to be in a relationship where I can share. And 10 minutes later, I just wish I could live in a cave where I could just meditate all day. And then you can. Nobody wants to listen to you anyway. It's like
Right.
a cave. It's just the same, like materialism of I want. Now under the spiritual garb, which makes it seem more acceptable. Like, I still want this. I really want this. You see? And if you look at somebody now who's saying, I want that car, I want this house, I want how materialistic of you. You see? But I want this in my life. I just want somebody who's spiritual. I just want to be able to accept everybody, accept my partner, I'll accept everything. It's all nonsense.
Yes.
But we've all done that.
Yes.
So when I say it's all nonsense, it's not on that. It's just like I'm remembering the stupidity that happened here. That's good. That's good. Yeah, she's ready to be a spiritual master. That's a Bhagwan look.
Bhagwan.
Like with Bhagwan sometimes, in the books you don't make this out, but some people have told me. I've had the privilege actually to meet 2-3 people who actually had living darshan of Bhagwan. Very beautiful to meet them, old, obviously old now.
And when you say Bhagwan, who are you referring to?
Ramana Maharishi.
Okay.
So with Bhagwan, what would happen is you would ask him a question, and sometimes, of course, the answer would come right then, but many times it would just be met with this kind of, silence, and then 3 days later he would come and say, okay, someone here was asking this question. This is the, so it's not, like in the books it can seem very real time,
Yeah.
but many times it was just met with complete silence, a completely different topic or something. So when the me comes out of our spirituality, then it's very straightforward actually. It's just the the trouble is you see, all of us in satsang have had the experience of God, of the self, you see, but trying to convert that insight into something that is useful for me is where we get stuck. You see. So what did you find? I found that there is no me. But how does that really help me? See? This is the strange, I'm just putting it in words, but just check if our affliction is not that, you see. Like, I found that there is no me, but what does that change for me? You see? Because we're so used to chasing things for this me, this non-existent me.
So just live life as it plays out.
Not even that.
Not even that.
Not even that. That's a good question, and most in satsang have this. No? Should I just be, or should I just live life? Just let life unfold. Not even that. Now what you got?
Mm-hmm.
And if you say nothing, then not even that. You see? A baby, an infant, or a 1-year-old is not just being, is not decided to just be or just living life, you see. Because the minute you even take that position, you already lost it. You see? Like we were talking about Eckhart Tolle, and his beautiful book came out, The Power of Now came out, how, 15 years ago? I remember
Yeah,
reading it.
10,
Something like
10,
that.
15 years ago. And everybody who's in spirituality, and maybe most of the world actually knows about the power of now. Just in the now, there is no trouble. You see, everybody knows it. You see, but how is it that very few people have actually been able to, so-called, do it? You see? You see, why is it? Because the moment you take that decision, I'm just going to be in the now, you're not in the now. You see, it has to be empty even of that. Then you see that there is no time. So, like Guruji jokes about this, like just be, or just be natural, just be natural. Try to just be natural. Can you do it? The minute you try to just be natural, you lost it. So Master Bankai says all things are perfectly resolved in the unborn. You see? So the unborn is that which is empty of even the intention to be in the unborn. And for the intellect, it's very troublesome, all this, because it leaves you with no position. Is it this way or that way? Am I supposed to live moment to moment, or am I supposed to live with a plan? Neither and both. Okay? These things which the intellect can't understand is what life is. We have tried to, humanity has tried to intellectualize and conceptualize life and explain life, but it just can't be done. So all these ploys, tactics, cheat codes to life, they just don't work. It's just made up stuff. It's just provisionally helpful because we take ourselves to be something limited, and we say, that really helped me. But then the me keeps growing. The idea of the separation still keeps growing with that. How would it be to not have any idea about how to live life or not live life? Like, are you living life? Who's living life? Who's living this life? Let the one who's living this life decide how to live this life. Who's living this life? Another way, like Guruji says, whose life is this?
we have super strong conditioning that we tend to believe that we are living this life, and that's what the whole issue is, right?
Yeah,
That
but now
conditioning
the
is
minute you
so-
say that, you've seen through it. No?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You've seen through the scam. The minute you say it's just a belief that we have, then it's over. It's done.
But is it just knowing that this life is the mind and body living it, or is it experiencing it is what is more important, and being with that
Yeah.
idea that
We
it's
are
not
always
you?
only experiencing the truth.
Mhm.
See? We can only ever experience the truth. The only thing that seems to get us in trouble is how we interpret it.
Mm.
You see, so what is your experience now? Are you limited in a body mind?
No.
That's it. That's a beautiful thing. Like people are doing sadhana for 100 years to try and see that which you saw just instantly. I want to get over my body-mind conditioning consciousness. See? But right now, are the body sensations constricting you, or are they felt within you? See, that which we call the body, those sensations, are they within you or are you within them? It's so simple, it's so straight, and our experience is always showing us the truth. You see? Like, and that which is aware of all of this, you see, does that have a quality? No, it's clear, it's very, very simple. You see? So truth is very simple. It's only the attempt to make use of it which is difficult. Like how do I use the truth to make my life better? And we've already fallen back into the trap of the me.
And looks like truth doesn't care about your life.
It
It's going to do
doesn't
what it's
care
going to do.
at all.
It's all made up.
Yeah.
You see? It has no concept of care and not care. I mean, it is
Yeah.
made up of caring in a way. You see?
Because
If
it's
you want
allowing
to-
you to exist in it, right?
But I'm saying that truth has no obligation to anything at all, and it definitely has no obligation to make sense to you, like a famous scientist said. Like the universe has no obligation to make sense to us. You see? And all our struggle, especially the spiritual struggle, is to try and make sense of life, of God, of truth. If you're not trying to make sense of it, what would be the problem?
Doesn't care.
And this is a common affliction in our path, especially called Jnana Yoga. People have misunderstood what Jnana is. If they think that ultimately I will hear some Mahavakya or something, Aham Brahman Asmi, and tada! But that is not, you see that about yourself, you see? And there are very primal ways to convey that seeing, you see? But even in the most primal ways of conveying that seeing, which is Aham Brahman Asmi, that is contaminated. Right now, what is apparent to you without having to think or having to perceive anything?
I exist.
Yeah.
I'm here.
That is my Brahmastra, new Brahmastra. What is that which is apparent to you, or what is it that you know without having to think anything or perceive anything? I'm not saying that either of them should stop. I'm just saying they can come and they can go, but you don't need them to know the truth. You see? And all your confusions, all your doubts will be, but I still, do I really know, which means here, or what did I experience, which means perception. You see? Without these two struggles, there is no spiritual struggle there. The truth is apparent to you. It is so clear to you that you are witnessing all of this. You see, that you are aware of all of this. Even to say it is strange because it is so clear. Does that witness have any trouble of any sort? Same.
Just a little different. When Mohi does invitation,
Yeah.
I think I'm sleeping,
Yeah.
or I'm not sure what it is, right?
Yeah.
And that's been a struggle for a while. So when you talk about like not having anything, right?
Not having any?
Not having anything, not be perception, not doing anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you said sleep is that state, when there's nothing, you don't
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah.
So is it sleep then when you're doing meditation? Would you be in a sleep state? Because that's
It can be. It can be. It can be also, you could be just awake, but you have no, like, there are many times where you could just have a simple sliver of the sense of existence. You feel like this is not sleep, but you're not perceiving anything else. You see? You could have that, or it could be fully sleep like that.
So
Or
it's
it
not
could be-
fully sleep, but
Yeah.
he keeps saying a lot of his satsang
Yeah.
that you're sleeping and you
Yeah.
should not be sleeping.
Yeah.
You should come next to me, right?
Yeah.
So, but then that's why we obviously are doing it on the
Yeah.
internet, right? So it's not sure, whether
Yeah.
it's a sleep
Yeah.
or whether it's that state of nothingness,
Yeah.
and that's kind of hard to differentiate the two, right?
Like, I would say that, for example, you're here, no? And let's take Nilesh. She's been saying, "Father, come, and we'll see you." Like, and I just start talking, and he just goes off to sleep because he's had a long drive. You know, like, come on, wake up, listen to what I have to say, because we've been waiting for this meeting to happen. So that's a bit different. But sometimes when you're just in this beautiful meeting with yourself, it can seem like everything just fades away, which is fine. Which is just fine. I would say that don't trouble yourself too much with it, and leave that also to him. If you're doing that invitation, then say, even if it sounds like he's getting angry with saying, but it's your problem. You're putting me to sleep now. You wake me up.
You hear that sound? Those are cicadas.
What are they?
Cicadas. It's a bug. They're pretty
They're bugs?
large.
Let's get out
They're
of here.
bugs, and they're pretty big.
Uh-huh.
And they come out every 7 years.
Oh.
So
They
this
come
is
out every
actually
7
a
years?
special time.
Really?
And at night, the crescendo of this noise, if you come out in the park somewhere where there's nature, it gets very loud at night. So you won't hear this next year.
Yeah.
Is it different from crickets?
Yes,
Different?
very, very different. They're much louder, and they do this. See, they start out, gets louder.
Are they hungry?
No. They're saying that
But when
they
they
hear
do
the
it all
noise in our
together.
backyard every year it happens.
Every
so
year?
she said 7 years.
Well, they have a. It's
Oh, it
an
must be different, a
abundance.
different
Yeah,
lot.
that's what I was saying.
This is a cricket, probably they hear in the backyard. I mean, we all hear crickets, right?
Yes,
Crickets may sound like this as well.
Actually,
No, these
people
are
call
you get these
cicadas.
very
They call it
soft.
cicadas.
These are different, right?
No,
They're
we get
cicadas.
this.
Oh, you get this?
I don't know. Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Maybe there's, I don't know, there could be two ways of saying the same thing.
I want to hear it when it comes again. I'm expecting something.
Huh? What did she expect?
I want to hear it when it comes
Ah.
again. There.
It peaks and kind of goes
Mm.
down.
Super simple.
Did it seem simple to you like before you got this?
No.
Yeah, same thing with
I
us.
see what you're saying.
No, I
Well
wasn't
played,
trying
my
to
dear,
be
well
smart, but I
played.
was like, did you always think it's so simple?
So do you, I mean, like, you know, a lot of people spend a lot of time reading all the books and
Yeah.
doing all that.
Yeah.
And I think, yes, I mean, that's the mood you say it's simple, right? So is it okay to do both? I mean,
I still read a lot. Love reading. But what I would do is, if you're reading something, I find that most of us who are reading like spiritual books are not like, if they're reading the word of a master, like if you're reading Be As You Are, for example, actually just reading 2 chapters, the first 2 chapters of Be As You Are is quite powerful. But you have to read it like as if you're just being pointed in that moment, you know, as if not just like some prose and you're just like, oh, these are beautiful sounding, look at that, how amazing it must be, you know. He's saying, but whatever he's saying, follow that. He's talking to you, you know, just follow that. Like you are somebody who's lost and you ask somebody for direction on the way and it's like late at night and you have to get to your hotel or something. And he's saying, go there, then go there. Follow it like a road map rather than just some beautiful writing or, oh, that was a nice conversation. Then it becomes your satsang alive. You know? Bhagwan is here, all these beautiful masters, Maharaj, Guruji, all of them are here with all their beautiful videos, writings. So that satsangs are alive for us even now. But we miss what they're saying because we're reading it very just, you know, casually, like some beautiful story or something.
When I would read, I'd feel so. I'd feel a sense of peace and joy, and but it was like drinking an elixir. But I really wasn't following the pointing.
Yeah, this is the thing.
I
Because what
wasn't.
happens is that, like I discovered, I'm very stupid actually. So I discovered just like a month or two ago that most of the people in the Sangha are not doing the inquiry properly. Yeah? Because I would say, like one girl from Germany, she was with me and she was saying, "Come, Father, please help me, let's do the inquiry together." Because it's not been working for me, the inquiry. And I was just like, how can the inquiry not work? So we started doing the inquiry together. And she's saying, so I'm saying, okay, who are you? Ask yourself, who am I? They start asking. Then she's like, yeah, I'm starting to feel some peace. I'm saying, who is witnessing that peace? Then she's saying, but these thoughts are coming now, and the peace is getting lost. It stopped working. I'm saying, what are you talking about? So what we're actually doing is doing the inquiry to get some peace or some state. You see? But what the question is actually forgotten. And I'm saying, but look, who are you? And you know what she said? Yes, yes, thank you, Father, you're helping me, I'm coming back to peace. But who are you? You see? So what happens in our inquiry or any meditation that we're doing is that we become like a spiritual sightseeing. What's coming up? What is the state now? Is it bliss? Is it frustration? Is it some old pain? But the inquiry was different. Bhagwan has said, who are you is what you're supposed to ask, not what state is coming. You see? So then we make these compartments saying inquiry is working really well, which means that when I was at peace, then the inquiry was working really well. And when the mind was noisier, then inquiry was not working so well. But Bhagwan never said that. You see, use whatever is coming. Even if the mind is coming strongly, use that to check who is witnessing the mind. You see? So inquiry can never not work. If you sincerely ask yourself, who am I? It doesn't matter what states are coming or not. But because in some sort of maybe 50, 60 years ago we were taught that meditation actually means the acquiring of peace or something like that. So then we started looking that as success criteria rather than actually the discovery of the self, which the inquiry is meant for. So it doesn't matter what is showing up or not. But because we got used to picking one over another, and we get stuck in that trap, saying, okay, now I'm feeling blissful, peaceful, so inquiry is going well today. Okay? If there's more turbulence, then inquiry is going badly. But maybe that is the inquiry going better because you're really looking who is witnessing that. Is that also in turbulence? Is it?
Yeah.
I have to say, when I put the books down, not that this is a prerequisite
Yeah,
or
yeah,
anything
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but when I personally put the books down and stopped watching the videos obsessively for 6 hours a day, I mean, Moji's videos are is when I stopped and I really did the inquiry. And for lack of a better word, things shifted rapidly for me. And I wasn't looking for your experience or what you were telling me. I wanted my own seeing, not your seeing or the books, but do what they said. And it made a huge shift for me.
I think we follow the instruction either partially or we follow it in our own ways rather than what is actually being told, and that's why we never.
Yeah, that's what makes it a journey. That's what makes it a journey.
That's what makes it a long journey.
Because,
Not just a journey,
otherwise-
long journey.
I'm still surprised at times as to what I could have said in satsang and what was actually heard.
Yeah.
It never fails to amaze me. 'Cause I could have said ABC, but the mind very quickly makes it into XYZ. Very easy. Very quickly. And like Father, you were saying yesterday, this something. I'm like, I don't remember these words coming out of this mouth. You know? And many times I do forget. I mean, I mostly forget everything I share. But sometimes it intrigues me. And I say, okay, show me the recording or show me the transcript. Where I said, and we just can't find it.
So that's why you say,
so
what
sure.
was I saying yesterday?
And it's just like that. You just said ABC, just like without any concept or anything. Right? But I could say, oh, he's saying AB together and C separate, or somebody may
something.
interpret
Exactly.
A and BC
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many permutation
So-
combinations. So it's just so many meanings of the same words.
That's why I feel like a pointer like this, which I'm calling the Brahmastra, which is the most powerful weapon in Indian mythology. The Brahmastra is the most powerful weapon. And what is it that you know without having to think or perceive anything? then it makes it independent of anything else you've heard or understood or whatever experience you had. What is it that you know without having to think or perceive anything? And the usual responses are blank. I say, no, blank is a perception. You're perceiving blank, so not even that. The other response is nothing. Nothing is a thought. This is a term, so not even that. So just in case that you get stuck in blank or nothing, it's fine. Time to go?
About a half hour now.
It's like, Ma, let's go. One time what happened is Sangha friend, she got her brother's girlfriend to satsang. Like, and she would have told that girl that, oh, it's so beautiful and Ananta is so nice and there's so much bliss and peace in the room. So this poor kid, she came, she was probably 18 or 19, young kid. And she sat through, and those days Azhar was there and all these boys were there, so he used to answer a lot of questions. So this satsang was getting over, and I said, okay, that was the last question. I looked at this girl and she was like, and then I was just looking at her. She didn't notice me looking. Huh? So, but then somebody else said, Dr. Kanchan, or somebody in satsang said, I have one question, Ananta ji. And this girl's expression, it just went like, oh. Then I just told the poor thing, you're not like hostage here. Of course you are, because you're with your parents. But so, yeah, it can be quite boring.
No, the girls are very well behaved.
Yeah.
They're sitting through it very well.
They may be bored, but at least they're
Yeah.
not showing it.
Yeah, they're
My
doing
kids
very
would
well.
have gone walking about. Okay, so last question, anything? We have online satsang. Once I'm back, we have satsang almost every day.
So, Father, the timing becomes a big issue for us here. It's just with the daytime, what do you call it, the different time zones here, and
I didn't even realize. We came here and I didn't realize that 1 hour time shift happened between Chicago and here.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like, what's happening? We left at 11, we got here at 4. It seemed like 4 hours. What happened?
you
Like,
go
what
to
is time?
California, there is another 2 more hours gets
Yeah,
added.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, taken away. So
My son told me this is what happened because he figured it out. It's like, what's happening?
But when you go back, you gain an hour.
yeah, we can. So that's why I was telling her that we can leave at 3 and we still will be home by 11, which is 10
Right.
o'clock. So we're fine.
Yeah.
We can leave a little later.
Kids are fine?
Yeah.
They're having a
They're having
blast
fun
with their
with
friends?
friends, yes.
So daytime is okay, right? They could stay by themselves because they're like
Yeah.
15, 16 years old. But nighttime, they usually go to sleep over.
You see Guruji sometimes, Mujiji sometimes on YouTube. You see it when it's being played. But he's also very funny, no? Have you heard any jokes from Guruji?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, go to YouTube and type Muji and then let go. There's a Muji let go joke which is very funny. He has many jokes. He's just generally a lot funnier than me. So don't let this be your satsang benchmark. His
He is
his
funny.
stories is very beautiful.
Papa G is funny.
Babaji.
Yes.
Papa G is really funny.
Babaji is just funny because of his style. He's just like, even without the story, he's like, Acha, what do you want? Acha, you wanted to sit here, you sat. Now what do you want? Yeah. He's like, he's
He
so
just has to
chopping.
start
So,
laughing, and I start
so it's just
laughing.
funny when you're watching others getting chopped up like that. I don't know whether it would be that funny if you were sitting.
And it's not even that I'm laughing at them. I'm just like, I actually feel
Yeah,
nervous
yeah.
for them. I'm like, oh God, why are you doing them like that in front of everybody?
Have you seen Maharaj? Maharaj, of course, there's some satsang with subtitles. But if you notice the subtitles, maybe you can understand a bit of the Marathi. But they've really toned down the what he's actually saying, because in
Yeah.
the saying he's really going.
Yeah, he's really.
Did you say
very
Mr.
hard in
Ganesh?
subtitles.
Yeah, he's rough.
And some people could find it offensive. It was
Yeah.
so blunt and direct. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Oh,
amazing.
because he was.
It was was very
Very
blunt
fast.
and direct.
You've been here like 5 days. What have you done? Get out.
I
Have a
know.
small house. You're taking up space.
Yeah.
That's how you used to be.
Yeah.
You
It
don't
was
get it in 5
amazing,
days.
yeah.
Go.
Yeah, just go. And Papaji also many times. You want freedom? You're not.
That scared me when I heard that. When I heard that he told somebody, "It's not for you. Freedom not for you." I was like, "What if I'm one of them
Yeah.
people?"
Yeah, I feel that way. And Muji is so nice. When he says something, it's very kind and courteous.
He's
But
very
but
patient.
sometimes
Very.
when somebody asks a question,
Yeah.
I put them in I put myself in their shoe, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to
This
answer
one's gonna
those
get
questions
chopped,
he's
this one's gonna
asking
get-
because I'm just so superficial, and the questions that he's asking are probably more deeper. I don't want to be standing there asking a question.
Yeah, to piggyback off of that, I really wanted to know how to take advantage of this time the greatest with you, or what I should be asking, what I should be doing, should I be quiet or whatever. So I don't even know if that's a
sorry,
question.
my dear. My son is calling. हाँ बेटा
I want to check. I think Nick
हाँ बेटा
did
where are
the
you?
last one.
I'm just gonna start leaving from here. We are at the next to your university, this Dun Meadow. Oh, they're there? Okay, just tell them I'll be there in 20 minutes.
Maybe she's going to
Mm-hmm.
My son's classmate has come with his parents.
That's so great that they're
But
friends.
you know what? I think in.
Sorry, he was saying.
Oh,
he was
sorry.
just
Yeah,
saying,
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is the greatest way to make use of this time?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you that, but then I didn't know if that was a fair question. What is the best way someone can spend time with a guru?
Good question.
Just as you have been doing. You have been doing. You've been listening. You've been attentive. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Because then that becomes just an obstacle in the way.
Yeah, I did. I'm like, this is my chance. Like, he here, he in the States, how do you take advantage of this the
It's
most?
just so sometimes you're talking about Papaji and this thing. So yeah, sometimes it really works because if you hear, oh, it's not for me, then all the pressure is off. It's just like you let yourself just go for a bit and oh, yeah, it can happen like that. But of course, it can happen the other way also.
Yeah.
We had somebody in the satsang the other time. She's been on the spiritual path for maybe 40 years. And she said, Papaji told me that I'm not ready or something like that 25 years ago. And for 25 years I felt forsaken by God. So some have really strong satsang that.
There was a child who came and asked Guruji questions in Rishikesh this time. There was a
Yeah,
video
very
of that.
sweet. I was in the room actually.
Oh, really? Oh, I showed them the video.
What
See?
a child.
Yeah. So they feel they're teenagers.
Yeah, but no
and-
pressure. Everyone has their own expression.
Yes.
Yeah, that child was very sweet. And he was having such a sincere and conversation with Guruji. Hey, what do you feel about this?
She was laughing. Is this a child?
Yeah, exactly. Chale?
Mm.
Shall we?
Thank you.
Thank you.